Hello, some SPQ tips before your exam tomorrow. Please listen very carefully because I don't want you to get an L1 or 2 marks. So first thing, for purpose question, please make sure you write because. Whoever that do not write because, you're gonna get it from me. Okay, next, your action verb. Convince, persuade, reassure, influence, encourage. Okay, do not write down, tell me, show me, inform me about this thing. All these things will get you down to L1 2 marks, so please stop it. Please write convince, persuade, reassure, influence, encourage, or any other strong action verb. Next, make sure your message and outcome are both present. Okay, I don't want to mark and see that there's a message but no outcome, there's an outcome but no message. Okay, do not use people for audience. Do not use tell me, show me, talking about, inform. I'm doing purpose. Okay, I think I said this already. Okay, next thing, relate your message to the issue. Okay, your message cannot be an isolated message. It needs to tell me something related to the issue. So check your message if there are things related to the issue or not. Okay, more than likely it will either support the issue with a valid reason or does not support the issue because of this reason. So check support, does not support, and check what exactly is the reason. The author says this. Okay, outcome is the audience action. What do you want them to do in the end? Okay, more than likely is either support the government or to pressure the government. If it's a government speech, more than likely it will end up being these two things: either support the policies or pressure the government to change the policies. Either one of these. Okay, then you must write exactly what policy is it. Next, follow the format. PEEL. The P consists of all these things. Make sure I see the P, the E, and the L. Okay, link back to the question. Now moving to comparison. When you do difference, when you're stuck, these are the best 3 ways to do a comparison. But it's not conclusive all the ways you have to use this method. But I find that this is a good method to use. Look for reasons, look for whether, look for degree. What do I mean by reasons? What do I mean by whether? Both sources are different on whether social media causes harm during the London riots. Okay, so you're clear that you are comparing if or not it causes harm. Okay, don't give me whether the London riots, then full stop. I want to see an adjective causes harm during the London riots. Next thing, both sources are different on the reason. Can you see? Different reasons for people's unhappiness over a policy, a white paper, or any other thing. So this is another way. Look out for the different reasons. The third way, you can look out for the degree. Look out how far people are affected by certain policies or certain things. Okay, look out for this degree thing, or to the extent. What extent are they impacted by? And then give explanation and give your reason. So either one of similarity or difference will be the very obvious one and will relate closely to the issue. Check which is it and give the reason. Okay, since you need to do 2, for the other similarity or difference that is not so obvious, common criteria is important. Okay, there are different perspectives on whether diversity brings prejudice, but they can agree that diversity indeed makes society more vibrant. So both sources show me the vibrancy that diversity brings. But on one hand, it shows me the perspective of one guy who is facing prejudice because of this vibrancy. On the other hand, another source can be showing that there is no prejudice at all, and this is making society more vibrant. So this way they can be the same yet different. Okay, or similar and telling me healthcare is affordable. Both agree that they can pay for the healthcare. But both disagree on whether, even if you can pay, are there enough infrastructures or not. So one say yes, one say no. So that is one way you can see the difference. So when you're doing difference, please be specific in your criteria. What do I mean by this? Negative example. Both sources are similar in telling me that about life. So what about life? That's why it's wrong. I put X here because it's wrong. Both sources are positive in telling me that life is good. So the adjective is together with the word, the factor that you are comparing. Okay, then it's clear for the marker to see that this is what you're talking about. You're not being vague, but both sources are similar in telling me about life. So one say life is good, the other one say life is happy. So does happy equals good? Not exactly, right? You need to explain clearly. So that is why when you write life is good, it is of course a better answer. Next, do not use show and say in your inference or explanation. Even for difference, no show, no say. Please take it out. Take out all the show in your inference and your explanation and use the word tell. It tells me this thing. Both sources are similar in telling me that blah 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 blah. When you use tell, you're showing that you're doing an inference. When you use show, you're telling me that the source speaks to you about certain things, but it doesn't tell you specifically about your inference. Okay, so use the word tell or follow the question. Okay, for difference, make sure you write the topic sentence based on criteria first. Now don't make the mistake of jumping through the evidence because it will not be clear for the marker. The marker is marking a lot of scripts. If you are very clear from the start, it will be better for you. It will indeed benefit you. Okay, so negative example, both sources are different on whether globalization helps Singapore. Source A says that. Okay, no. Please, globalization helps Singapore. List down the topic sentence first. Source A tells me that indeed it helps Singapore because of my reason. So write the word because after you answer the question. Then what is the reason? It makes Singapore more diverse. Then give your evidence and explanation. Then it's clear for the marker. Okay, next thing. However, similarly, this is very, very, very important. When you write the next source, please include this word to show that you are comparing your sources. Okay, please state very clearly that you are comparing the difference and similarity. Okay, again, negative example, both sources tell me that Singapore is clean. No. Both sources are similar in telling me that Singapore is clean. This word similar makes a whole lot of difference. I tell you, in whether you get the 3 or 4 marks or the 1 or 2 marks. So please always look back to the question, what is it asking for? Okay, moving on to reliability. If it asks about useful, proof, trust, belief, or any other variant of reliability, please follow the question and say that yes, it is useful, it proves, it trusts, it believes, I can believe. Okay, because it is reliable or unreliable. This is always the first step, checking reliability to ensure that you know whether it is useful or not, whether it proves or not, whether you can trust or not, whether you can believe or not, because it's reliable or unreliable. So make sure your reliable word is inside your answer in the first line when you see this type of question. Okay, then after you claim it proves, state why using your own words. There is sufficient evidence explained from the source in question. Always look at the source in question first before you cross-ref, before you decide to do anything. Okay, you need to check reliability by first checking the main source in question. Okay, when cross-referencing, please explain the purpose of your cross-reference. In other words, state that you say the source does not prove because it's reliable. Why is it unreliable? Because it can be contradicted by source B. Very clearly stated. And at the end of your paragraph, or your cross-reference paragraphs, please include the line again. Hence, as source B contradicts source A is thus unreliable and hence does not prove. This will make the marker very, 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 very happy. Okay? And also your evidence. So your evidence must be very clear. Don't anyhow pick an evidence. Pick one that is suitable. Pick one that relates specifically to the question. Okay, that is how you get the answer. Now, I cannot emphasize this enough. Okay, this line here, you must answer it. Okay, useful. When you see a useful question, the important thing is that all sources are useful. So make sure you write down, yes, it's useful because it gives me this perspective, or it tells me At this point in time, this was happening and this is how people felt. Tell me, who are the people? Why did they feel this way? How did they get this perception? Okay, then write down what the source says, tells you about whether it's useful, what about the perception. Okay, after you've done that, then check reliability through cross-reference. So do the same thing. It's useful because it's reliable. It's not useful because it's unreliable. Then contradict or support your answer. After that, then you do the next paragraph and write provenance. Check the provenance for agenda or enhanced reliability in your usefulness. Okay, moving on, evaluation. Please, for goodness sake, 1 paragraph per source. Please, you only need 4 sources. I want to see clearly 4 paragraphs, 4 sources, 4 paragraphs, and then another 2 more paragraphs will explain sources what and what agree, sources what and what disagree. Okay, and always link back to the question. The issue, that the factor they ask you in the evaluation question is different from the issue that is given in the SBC. So please make sure that whatever you write, your inference, please link it back to the issue of the question. Okay, and choose the easier ones. Please choose the straightforward ones, the ones that clearly agree or clearly disagree. Don't choose the one in between that has both sides of the coin. Okay, choose the very clear ones. That's the best. Okay, so 4 is enough. Check and make sure you explain. Okay, this is important. You must check, you must make sure you explain things well. At the last 10 minutes, please check, did you use show or say for inference and explanation? If you do it, please change it. I cannot emphasize this enough. Check that you did not use show or says for any inference or any explanation. Everything should be tells, suggests, means, explains, implies. Okay, no show or no says, please. Show and says is only for writing the evidence. Okay, don't jump to conclusion with your evidence that is self-explanatory. Nothing is self-explanatory. I think I must add this line down. Nothing is self-explanatory. Don't assume that because you wrote a little piece of evidence in your answer that the marker is going to give you the mark for it. You must explain why this little piece of evidence answers the question. Link it back in your mind. Always link it back to the question. Next, check, do you write talking about or give vague criteria in comparison, telling me about life? Okay, don't write this telling me about life thing. Say that life is good. Change it if you did not. Do you answer to the question? If it says proofs, say proof. Say surprise, say yes, I'm surprised. Okay, and your purpose, please write the word because. Please write because. Action, verb, audience, message, outcome. Did you always infer the main source first? Okay, check back again for reliability question. Are you writing about the main source first before you move on to cross-reference? Don't give me one line and then jump to cross-reference. Okay, the whole thing must be explained first before you cross-reference. Okay, then explain your cross-reference with contradict, support. Do you do a comparison? Do you write similarly or in contrast in the middle of your answer? Do you explain inference with the issue of your evaluation? If you don't link back to the question that they asked you for evaluation question, you will not get the marks for your paragraph. So you wasted your whole time. So please don't waste your time. Infer the source paragraph, what it's talking about, and then after that link it to the agreement or disagreement to the statement that is given in the evaluation question. So please check your inference are in line with the main issue and not isolated inferences. Okay, I can infer that the burger has many flavors. It's an isolated inference. It's relating to nothing. Okay, so please don't give me this type of inference. Talk about something related to social studies. I can infer that hybridization because of this burger has many flavors is evident in Singapore's food culture. Okay, so these are the simple steps to ensure you do not fall to a level 1 mark. And I'm going to summarize everything into this when you check. First, because it's so important, please check your because. So B is for because. Next thing, E, explain. Did you explain why you cross-reference? Did you explain why you assess the providence? Did you explain what are you comparing? Everything must have an explanation, so please check again. Why are you checking reliability? Why are you checking for why are you contradicting the source? Why are you supporting the source? Why? Okay, please explain everything. Check again. Do you explain? Next thing, S. S is this word, show. I do not want to see the show in your inference. Check it and make sure it's not present. T. T, of course, refers, I cannot find anything for T, so I will say the question. If you say proof, say proof. If you say surprise, say surprise. If you say useful, say it's useful. Okay, link back to the question. Bring your answer back to an explanation of the question. Ask yourself, have what I've written down helped me to answer this question, or is it still very vague? Is it still very unexplanatory? If yes, do something about it. Create the connections in your brain and try and link back everything together. Everything must be smooth. A big picture, smooth and clear. Okay? So I understand that there is really no time to do everything in this SS paper. So what I would suggest, do the first question. It's the easiest of all. Okay? It is a basic question. Next, comparison. Do the obvious comparison. The obvious comparison will link to the issue. Okay? So it will link to whether yes or no, agree, disagree on a particular issue. So normally one would say yes, one would say no. That is the norm. Okay? Or if it's similar, you will both agree, you will both disagree about the issue. Normally this will be the case. Okay? So do the obvious comparison, leave a blank for the next part. Because the next part is difficult, it's only 2 marks and you may or may not get it. So do not prioritize that first. Leave a blank for that. Okay? Next part, reliability. When you do reliability, assess content. That means write the first paragraph first. Okay, state reliable, not reliable, proof does not prove because it's not reliable, because it says this, it tells me this thing. So what does it tell you about the issue? Write this one paragraph. It must be very clear first. Okay, this is if last case scenario you really have no time. At least write the one paragraph first. You will get the passing mark. Trust me on this. Okay. Lastly, evaluation. Evaluation is the one that you must do. Please, 4 paragraphs. It's all inference. Choose the 4 easiest one. Infer, but don't leave, don't describe. Link back to the question and link it back by answering the question again. So with these 4 paragraphs, with a 1 paragraph of your reliability, with a 1 comparison, with a 1 on your first question answered well, with message, with outcome, if they ask you purpose, you should be able to score a B, at least a B. Okay, even without an essay, you can still score a B. So trust me on this. So if you really have no time and you find that you're writing very slowly, please make sure you have at least completed the last question fully, the first question, and of course every other question, at least 1 paragraph which explains the source content. Then check again for these things, because explain the show especially. Do not write show for your inference. Okay? And you have answered back to the question. So these are the things. Okay, so please take note. I'll leave it with you with this with you. So please watch. Have a good day.